Hi guys, Frank here with Build Your Own and welcome back. In the last video I did a general overview of the Kenwood DMX809S. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure to check it out for a full rundown of this amazing system. I'll put the link to that video in the description below. Today I'm going to do a firmware update because although the system is new to me, it could have been sitting around in a warehouse for a while and the firmware could be out of date. This can cause issues like a bad Wi-Fi connection, something I've experienced with a new car stereo before. I'll also include the link to that Kenwood video in the description. So let's get started. First things first, let's gather the tools you'll need. You will need a USB flash drive that meets the following specifications: USB 2.0, capacity between 8GB to 32GB, and formatted to FAT32. Most flash drives are formatted with FAT32 when purchased new, but some drives may be formatted differently. For example, USB flash drives with a capacity of 32GB or less are usually formatted with FAT32, while drives with a capacity of 64GB or more are usually formatted with exFAT. Got it? Great. Now let's head to the specific URL provided in the Kenwood DMX809S user manual to download the firmware. Open your web browser and go to kenwood.com/cs/CE. At the top of the page, there's a search bar. Type in DMX809S into the search field, hit enter, and click on that link that appears below. The page will refresh, scroll down to the firmware update section, and click that link. You'll see two tabs: System Firmware Update and Application Firmware Update. First, let's check the System Firmware Update tab. Here you'll see headings for improved functions, and the firmware for the following products have been updated. The DMX809S falls under Model Group 2, which has an update to improve the HD radio function. Download the system version 112 zip file listed under Model Group 2. Next, go to the Application Firmware Update tab. Here, the DMX809S is listed under the updated products without specific model groups. Download the application version 118 zip file from this section. Make sure to download these files on either a desktop or laptop computer and save them to your desktop. Next, let's prepare the files for the update. Once you've downloaded the files to your computer, find them on your desktop. To decompress the zip files, right-click on each file and select Extract All, or use any standard unzipping software you have available. Make sure to extract the contents directly onto your desktop or a designated folder you can easily access. After downloading and extracting the firmware files, insert the USB drive into your computer or laptop. Before copying the new files, make sure to delete any pre-installed files on the USB drive to avoid conflicts. Open the folders where you've decompressed the files. You need to copy all the extracted files, not the original zip files, to the root directory of your USB drive. Make sure these files are not inside any additional folders on the USB drive. They should be in the main directory to ensure the firmware update process works correctly. Before we start the update, let's check the current firmware versions on your DMX809S to see if the update is needed. Press the Home button. Next, click the three rows of squares in the bottom left corner, then select the Setup Gear icon. From there, click System. Scroll down and select System Information. Here you'll see the current firmware versions. Now let's move on to the actual update process. Insert the USB drive into your DMX809S USB terminal. Here's how to start the firmware update process. Press the Home button. Click the three rows of squares in the bottom left corner. Select the Setup Gear icon. Then click System. Scroll down and click System Information. Select the firmware you want to update by clicking the Update button. My head unit already has the System V112 version, so I don't need to update that. But I do have the older application version V117, so I need to update that particular firmware. Connect the USB memory to start the update if you haven't done so already. This will take about 5 minutes. The screen may go blank for a few seconds. Do not unplug the USB memory or power off the head unit during the update procedure. Once the updated completed screen is displayed, remove the USB memory. Turn the ignition off and on again. Check that the firmware version is updated by referring to System Information. If you need to update both the system and application files, you'll have to repeat this process for each file. Precautions. Be sure to park the vehicle in a safe place before updating and keep the engine running to prevent the battery from running out. Do not turn off the engine or the unit's power during the update process, as the update cannot be performed correctly and the multimedia navigation receiver may become unusable. After completing the update, you may need to re-add your phone to the unit. Follow the usual process to pair your phone again. For a detailed visual guide, I'll share a link to my comprehensive Kenwood DMX809S Firmware Update Guide on my website in the description below. This process also applies to other Kenwood models such as the DMX8709S, DMX7522S, DMX7522DABS, and DMX7722DABS, ensuring you get the latest features and improvements. If you encounter any issues during the update, here are some common problems and their solutions. Update not starting. Ensure the file structure on your USB is correct. The decompressed file should be at the root of the USB drive, not in any folders. Update fails. Try reformatting the USB drive and re-downloading the firmware files. Make sure the USB drive meets the specifications. No confirmation message. If the update completed message doesn't appear, the update might not have been successful. Repeat the process or check for errors. Updating your firmware brings several key benefits: enhanced security, new features, and improved performance. With the latest Kenwood DMX809S firmware update, you'll enjoy clearer HD radio, better system stability, and improved connectivity. Regularly updating your Kenwood DMX809S firmware ensures your device remains functional and efficient. Follow this guide to enhance your multimedia experience and keep your system up to date. If you found this video helpful, informative, or entertaining, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon for more Kenwood DMX809S videos. Thanks for watching.